Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just...
You are not Farina.
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous.
Fusolo. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve, one was not amused. She knew, and as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at... So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everything. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydra Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose...
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only, but in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly... Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra are... In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace... I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only... Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been...
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years. And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time. wanted you to come onto the stage. Now, all right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Oh, do not jet. I am Focalor, the eyes of countless... Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Hello, me welcome for you guys. So welcome to
Hey there! Watch out!
Dari kya? Lolo. Hello, आवाज आ रही क्या? ये वो भाई.
Ow! I'm fine. Ah! Hey there! Watching me, you know. Guards! Where are the guards? Guards! Teamwork is dreamwork! Must do my duty! Attack coming at you! Brace yourself. Time for takeoff. Who's that? Who's calling me? Be not nervous. Be not afraid. Wait a moment. You're near me? Near you. Near me. What? The prophecy. What prophecy? The people will all be dissolved into the waters. Oh. Very good. What's going on? Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster. But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontanian just like them. Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precise. I will tell you how to save everyone. But
Oh, so there's still as for the suffering. Well, but if the prophecy will come true, if there were scales with all the people of...
I suppose this would also be the just... Huh? Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to
play as...
That's right. If you can keep it up,
but how will...
Don't worry. Being a human yourself, remember.
So, how long am I going to have to play this?
To a cut.
Trial. What should I say? I'm sure you've all heard. In truth, as the god Focalor, once again, I thought I...
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen.
Wait, what's going on? Right. Mir, calm down for me. Assertive. Now, I was wondering if you may consider... Now then!
So that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were...
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, we have heard it said that this nation's sins... No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role they... The scale... May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be... No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role they... No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role they... No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role they... No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role they... There is! So long as...
Lady Farina.
Besides,
That's true.
No need for fright. And do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Lady Farina.
No need. All right.
You...
Lady Farina.
I see. It's as I thought then. Oh man. Really?
I'm...
The day is fun, but it's good to see. Maybe this is...
Lady Farina, here are the...
They'll be...
Lady Farina.
Indeed!
Lady Farina, we're detecting...
Understood. I feel better.
Lady Farina, I've heard that. Are you crying?
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god who...
So hundreds may never go back. I want to die. All I can do is keep on.
Farina. No, I don't...
Share. That's impossible.
But even if you're... just share it with...
Witness. And if to... He's right. But if... No, Farina. But if, Farina, is it so... If you let this think about it long and hard... No, I have nothing to say. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to...
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception... How would you build on this foundation?
Ah, good, good. Of course the Eudex of Fontaine has... I'm sure you've long...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you.
And then I became one with the oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority has been, had to be, accumulated to enact this death sentence.
It was all a part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more.
all you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now... Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea. And the heavenly... I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be... Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Nervillet, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as at last, I now understand the true purpose. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside you are a devious one, Focalor. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself